the Lancashire Hotpots!
Hey! Hello everyone, welcome to the November Lancashire Hotpots Potcast.
Seems like it's been a while.
The podcast that's coming in your ears right now. It really is. Oh no, that's a Charlie FM. Can't do that. No.
The podcast that's beaming right into your face.
Ooh. Quite literally.
It's hot.
Thanks for listening / streaming / downloading. However you are consuming this audio information burst.
Can you do it on a YouTube?
You can do it on the YouTubes. We're now on the YouTubes.
Can you do it on a mailing list?
There is a link in the list, yes.
Is it GeoCities compatible?
It isn't, no.
Oh.
So,
can I get any of those mini GIFs on this podcast?
I think we might be able to.
Great. We'll look at that.
Okay, for the new podcast listener, first off, hi, well done.
Hello.
You've chosen well. I'm Dickie.
Hello, I'm Billy.
I'm Ron.
I'm Kenny.
I'm Bernard.
I'm Bob.
And we're all here after a cracking gig in Newcastle.
Yeah. Very, very good.
Very good.
Birmingham, sing.
It was bouncing.
Sweaty.
Yeah. It was
Sweaty.
Uncontrollable people waving their
They know how
arms
to have a
around.
good time.
Third gig of the tour. We started off in Sheffield.
Yeah.
That was hot.
Hot.
Hot
Hotter than
gig.
the sun.
Well done if you came to Sheffield surviving the heat.
Yes.
London was cramped, but you coped admirably, I have to say.
What was great for me about tonight was when Dickie complained on stage about the heat, one of the security guards fixed the aircon, which sort of benefited only me. When I was it was fantastic, fantastic.
But we got there in the end. Yes, if you came to watch us in Newcastle, thank you very much indeed. You were a proper party crowd.
And if you've got tickets to see us on the rest of this tour, thank you in advance. If you haven't got tickets, we'll get to those dates later, but you better hurry up because they're selling like hotcakes.
They're all going to go.
I can't believe it's only been 3 dates. It
feels like a set, doesn't it?
It feels like we've been doing it for much longer, and it is. You know, we've been saying this on stage. Because we're playing our debut album
in its entirety.
Not only in its entirety, in the order that it is on the album. It's not maybe an organic thing that we would choose.
It's a mega mix
to do. It is very much a mega mix.
It's strange because when you've played some of those songs, you're so used to playing them in a different place. You think the gig's finished after doing like 4 songs, and you're like, oh, I'm gone.
2 songs.
Yeah, 2 songs. Yeah.
Like I've been saying, it's like you do Shop Mobility Scooter and everybody sings Hey Gene. You think that's the end of the gig? It's not. We're only halfway through.
Plenty to come.
Yeah, I got confused straight from the off. I thought we were doing bitter lager, cider and stout, and we were doing chippy tea. So
happy days.
Because that's where it normally goes, isn't it? Like kind of second song in.
Yeah.
But they do say
that's why we're at the premiere in, and it's only 8:30. We've done 2 songs and left.
They do say a change is as good as a rest, and it is that's what
it's lovely.
It is the most different tour that we've probably done since we became a 5-piece.
Since the start, really.
Yeah.
Keeps you on your toes, this, because there was a beautiful moment tonight where Bernard was doing fantastic intro to the rocky version of Chippy Tea, and after a few bars, Ron Seal said, "This is in B." Bernard was in A.
Yeah.
It's easy to forget. It's easy to forget.
You got your capo again, didn't you?
Yeah, these things happen.
Yeah.
But you know, we said at the start of the show it was going to be a double figure mistakes.
Yes.
But I don't think we did.
4.
Kept
We
it
did
single
4,
figures. So
4.
happy days. 3 of them were mine tonight. Pleased with that.
So 3 gigs down, plenty more to come.
But where are we playing?
But where are we playing? I think there's only one man at this particular point in time who can answer that. That man is Bob Riggles, and he's got some dates.
Here they are. As always, you go to Lancashire Hotpots, thelancashireHotpots.net/events. Click on my face.
Click on his face, click on my face, da ding bong. Click on my face, click on my face, da ding bong. Click on my face, click on my face, click on my face.
Ding bang bongs bong.
Click on my face.
So if you do that, you get to this page, which gives you a list of the gigs. And next week, God, it really is a bing bang bong bong bing bang bong all the way up to Christmas. Next week, the 4th of November, if you want to get out of any sort of fireworks or any bonfire night festivities that you don't want to do, and you live in Bristol, come to Bristol, the Thekla. It's a boat.
It's a boat in the Navy.
It's a boat. It's harboured up in the docks somewhere.
What date's that on?
It's the 4th of November.
If you want to be my sparkler.
So come there. The week after, Saturday 11th of November, it's King George's Hall, Blackburn. It's sold out, so you can't get a ticket for that. No. But it's going to be a great night.
Always a good night.
It's going to be a great night. The week after, Saturday the 18th of November, is Leeds.
Oh, Leeds.
Coventry is in Leeds at the Brudenell.
How many left for that? Can't be many left for that.
There's a few, not that many, but
It's
there's a few.
big, isn't it? But
It's a big, nice big room.
it will be. It's always a great night.
Sound guy's great in there.
It's always going to be a great night.
Great beers as well, KB.
Oh
yeah.
More of that later.
I've Bagsy not being the designated driver for the hot pots that night.
More of that later.
Be cool. The 25th of November, the week after, is the Guildhall in Preston.
Sold out.
Gone.
Can't get a ticket for
Can't
that.
get a ticket for that. And Preston's usually the end of the tour. Now it's
Yeah.
kind of like it's not really the end; it's just before the end.
This is the end.
Friday the 1st of December is the O2 in Liverpool.
Still some tickets for that.
There'll be a few for that.
Be a good night, that.
It will be. It will be.
nice.
We've got lots of guests coming. Saturday the 2nd of December, the night after, we're going straight from the northwest up to the northwest. I'll start that again. Saturday the 2nd of December, we're going up to Kendal.
Wow.
Which is the Kendal Brewery Arts Centre. We played there a couple of years ago.
Can't be many left for that.
At the time of recording, not the time of you.
87% sold-ish.
I think there's 30 tickets left.
Well,
That's
yeah, just-
probably already sold out. If you haven't clicked now, you're in trouble.
That was a sweaty one as well, I remember.
Yeah, sweaty.
Like it in there.
Yeah, it's good.
Friday the 8th of December is the Old Courts in Wigan. That's sold
Sold
out.
out.
Can't get a ticket for that.
I get it.
And then the big one, the night after, the Saturday the 9th of December, Manchester Academy. We filled the DVD there last year. If you've got it, thank you for buying
If
it.
you haven't been, go out and buy it.
Go on, out and buy it.
It's
I was
tremendous.
watching it myself last night and thoroughly enjoying it, laughing along.
Laughing along.
You know,
Laughing
completing the
along.
one-liners that probably don't mean much to many people other than us, but made me laugh.
That's it. The in-jokes are what makes it interesting for us.
Listen to the commentary as well.
Yeah. There's extras. There's all kinds on them. The Kenny Can.
Oh,
Kenny
Kenny
Can.
That was a nice surprise, seeing the Chippy T Kenny Cam. I didn't know that was a thing.
It is a thing.
It's a thing. Definitely is a
On the
thing.
extras, yeah.
It's gone viral. I've seen it on my Facebook newsfeed at least 18 times this century.
I've seen it on the telly, mate.
I've seen it on the telly, and then I've seen it on Question Time newsfeed on FaceTime. I think that's it. That's all
And
our
of course, that's for this tour. And of course, next year, February, we are in the Citadel St Helens.
Does it
March,
start again?
Flower Pot in Derby. April, we're at the Live Rooms in Chester.
Yeah, 28th.
Wow.
So as always, just go to the LancashireHotpots.net / click on Bob's face. And that's you'll get all those dates, and there's ticket links and more information.
As always, if you don't want to be
Pictures.
disappointed, if you don't want to miss out, get 'em bought.
How many times do we get on the Facebook where we've played a gig and it's sold out and somebody goes, "Oh, didn't even know you were playing down there. Didn't even know you were playing."
Come on.
Can you just
Wake up,
explain that?
Britain.
A couple of years ago, I shared the room with you, Bob. When you were asleep, I clicked on your face. Nothing happened.
At least on the website, when you click on his face, you do get a visual cue.
All right, okay.
Are we saying clicked here?
It just, I clicked Bob's face and it said error on line 12.
And if you hover over my face, it looks like
Leave it
Roy
on.
Orbison.
Now.
Right.
Snowed all night.
So obviously we were talking there about the Live at the Manchester Academy live DVD and CD. I think it would be great to give the listeners of the podcast a bit of a treat.
A snippet.
And here is one of the fantastic songs from that particular package, which we will slot in now.
This song is called Eggs, Sausage, Chips and Beans. If you feel like dancing, please do. Thank you. Let's go! Let's get tell you about the meal that is a winner. You can have it for your tea or for your dinner. It's good enough for royalty, for princes, kings and queens. What is it?
Eggs, sausage, chips and beans.
I'd like to eat it every single day, with plenty of brown sauce and Tommy K. From Glasgow to Southampton and all the in-betweens, we love
Eggs, sausage, chips and beans.
Come on, let's hear ya! Eggs, sausage, chips and beans. Eggs, sausage, chips and beans. I could eat it till I burst at the seams. Eggs, sausage, chips and beans. No, I couldn't eat a salad, yes I've tried, 'cause my food tastes even better when it's fried. They feed it to the SAS and all of the Marines. It's
Eggs, sausage, chips and beans.
It'll make you feel dead happy if you're down. You can add some bacon or a nice hash brown. Your diet plan will end up being blown to smithereens. Eating
Eggs, sausage, chips and beans.
Here we go again, bounce! Eggs, sausage, chips and beans. Eggs, sausage, chips and beans. This is actually happening. I could eat it till I burst at the seams. Eggs, sausage, chips and beans. Musical break. Everybody, get yourself a slice of bread. Mop it up, mop it up, mop it up, mop it up. Get small. If you're courting or you're going on a date, to impress your partner and to look dead great, throw away the wine list, order just this one cuisine. It's the United Nations, they don't understand. They asked how can they stop wars across the land. I'll tell you, the world should eat this one meal and you know which one I mean. It's
Eggs, sausage, chips and beans.
Here we go again. Eggs, sausage, chips and beans. Eggs, sausage, chips and beans. I could eat it till I burst at the seams. Eggs, sausage, chips and beans. Do it again. Eggs, sausage, chips and beans. And now a long one. Eggs, sausage, chips and beans. Let's get sweaty. Eggs, sausage, chips and beans. Hey, that went well. I remembered everything.
Wasn't that great?
It brings back memories, so many memories.
So many memories.
Version of Freehold.
Now then,
Fantastic.
this is something that I'm going. It's a bit of a mini campaign. I don't do campaigns all that much, but I've got an idea, and this is something I want to start exclusively on the podcast. I'm going to tell you, podcasters, going to give you the exclusive on it. Christmas Day, right? Yeah. I want, because obviously there's never anything good on Christmas Day. I want everybody
On telly.
yes. I want everybody who's bought the DVD to put it on Christmas Day, take a photo, put it on their Facebook, and we'll set up a hashtag or something similar.
Yes.
Just because there's never anything on Christmas Day these days. What better thing to do than to sit around the old 4K telly and watch the Hotpots on Christmas Day?
Well, I think that if there is another Hotpots DVD in the offing very soon, I think that one of the extras should be a Queen's speech, but given by Bernard. And that definitely should. Indeed, I think that would be a feature then.
But it should be like 6 seconds long. Yeah. So you've got to get everything in 6 seconds.
I can do that.
Go for it now. Let's do practice.
Oh, Christmas.
How long was that?
I love it, mate.
I don't know.
I love Christmas, mate.
Easy.
One loves Christmas.
Easy.
One
take Thresher.
Can I just say it's about midnight when we're recording this, so we're going with the flow.
We're emotional.
We are tired and emotional.
I'll tell you what we are doing. We're missing Bullseye. That's what we're happening.
We are
as soon as we
drinking as well. It's a drinking time.
Yeah,
I'm going to be
the
it.
month's going a bit flat.
Yeah, it is,
Right.
yeah.
So what should we do next? Should we do the beer of the Kenny's beer of the month?
Let's do the beer of the month. Yeah.
Right. Okay. We haven't got a jingle yet, but maybe we'll have one by now. It's Kenny Body's Beer of the Month Club.
Hello, everybody. Not done one of these for a while, have we?
We haven't.
It was a bit impromptu as well, so I've not had much time to prepare. But sorted something out. Went to the good chaps at George Wright's Beer Emporium, St Helens, Cambridge Road.
Emporium of beers.
Emporium of beers.
We all, I mean,
Yeah, we had a little band trip this morning. Me, Bob, and Billy had a little nosy around the shop. So at the minute, with being in Sheffield and whatnot, I've been drinking a lot of Thornbridge. So I thought, I'll go for one of the Thornbridge ones. And I thought, well, see what we've got new in. So I went for the Thornbridge Burst 8 West Coast IPA, which is rocking in at 7%.
Wow.
So I've not had a chance to sample it properly yet. So we're going into the unknown.
Going in now.
Blind.
Yeah. So, but yeah, West Coast IPAs are a particular style.
So what's the
I've
difference
got
between
one
a
in.
West Coast IPA and a normal IPA? For
Well,
those who are at home?
it tends to be a lot more on the hoppier and fruity and citrusy side. I know IPAs are quite hoppy and citrusy anyway, but West Coast IPAs tend to be particularly...
Are we talking about the English coast?
No, American.
American coast.
Yeah. East side to the west side.
Quite bright.
Yeah, so let me just grab mine. Should we have a little sniff together?
If you're sniffing at home, please sniff now.
So, I've got this morning, we've gone to a specific beer emporium, but with the supermarkets these days, you can get a lot of the craft beers, and Thornbridge are one of the more readily available.
Yes,
so, you should be able to hopefully pick up this or other Thornbridge beers. But yeah, let's have a little sniff. Yeah, you can sell this fruitiness straight from the off on the nose.
Bright, isn't it?
Bright.
So yeah, let's have a little.
It smells a little bit sicky.
Ladies and gentlemen, please taste now.
Please scratch this sound.
So it's a bit. What's the word? Oh, what's the word I'm looking for?
Bitter.
It's a
little
bit bitter, but
acidic.
I wouldn't say there's a whole lot of fruit there.
no, it's more like I can't think of the word.
A whole lot of fruit.
Piney. It's like
resinous.
yeah, it's quite piney, isn't it? That's
She's dry hot.
She is actually.
Quite
It's
dry.
refreshing.
Crisp. Could probably do with being chilled. This hasn't really been chilled.
So,
is it?
a little bit cold.
I cheated. I did have one that I put in the fridge at the venue. So someone else has got the other half that's cold. So somebody's got a cold one along with me.
I think it's nice.
Yeah, it should preferably be served chilled.
7%, you say?
Yeah, it's not overly strong flavoured for.
No, you could get caught out with that.
Yeah.
Let's go with a nice bit of pork.
Yeah, a light meat.
Yeah. It's alright. What would you? Have you got any ratings?
What's our scale?
I'll give that
5?
probably burr out of 6.
Burr out of 6.
Nice.
That's my
I can
scale.
relate to that.
Yeah, I'm going. I think
5 out of snout.
I'm going with a 3.5, only because when you get to percentages like say, I want to taste it. It's got 7 in it, and that, although it almost tastes sessionable, and I don't want that from the 7%. I want it to.
Well, it probably not. It might taste sessionable, but once you've had a few of those, then you'll probably know about it.
Well, I
rather
think
than like 3 or 4.
it's quite
actual
delicious.
session beer. Yeah,
It's a lovely,
alright.
it's a lovely light straw colour.
Yeah, it's not too hazy, is it? It's not completely clear, but it's not that hazy either. There's a lot of New England IPAs at the minute which are quite kind of cloudy and whatnot, but this isn't quite so much that way.
Very
It's not
nice.
bad, that.
Very nice.
Yeah, I've been enjoying the Thornbridge beers lately. So Thornbridge is an independent brewery founded in the grounds of Thornbridge Hall, Ashton in the Water near Bakewell in Derbyshire. They were founded in 2005. And yeah.
How come America comes into it then?
Well, America has been a big influence on a lot of the craft brewing scene that's popped up over the last 10 years or
In
so.
what way?
It kind of comes about from what's the name of the brewery in America? Anchor do an IPA, and breweries like Stone, they went through a period of having really nice beers in America, and then they went through a phase of having really rubbish beers, as we did over here. And then Stone Brewery in particular was one of the ones that kind of decided that they needed to go back to having nice beers, so they kind of took the kind of Anchor IPA style beers and started going back to having beers with flavour rather than just being yellow wee.
Well, there's definitely flavour in it. Defo.
That inspired people like the Brewdog people.
With Cloudwater.
Yeah, well, there's James Watt and Martin Dickey who founded Brewdog. Punk IPA is based on American IPAs, and Punk IPA actually came about in a roundabout way from Martin Dickey, who was one of the founders at Brewdog, used to work at Thornbridge.
Nice.
Back in the day, before he founded his own company. So the American IPA has been a big influence on the whole craft beer scene is now booming.
So just like the Beatles.
In a way.
So just a point here then from Hotpots, we have these Beer of the Month, Kenny's Beer of the Month Club on the podcasts. If you are a home brewer and you would like us to rate your beers, get in touch with us via the socials, or you've got a beer from a brewery that you particularly like that you want us to taste and give our comments on, by all means, get in touch. And we'll find a way of getting hold of said keg and we'll get it down us, don't you worry about that. But if you are a home brewer and you think you're knocking out some good stuff, get us on, get us involved, we'll give it a good go.
Yeah, we'll have a look at it.
I'll look crack one.
Just a quick shout out as well. Speaking of homebrew, I used to go to the homebrew club at Brewdog Liverpool, and there's a couple of chaps who met there, set up their own brewery called Top Rope Brewing. It's their 1 year birthday this week, I believe, this coming week.
Well done.
So happy birthday to those chaps.
Well done.
They're doing
Happy
some very
birthday.
nice beers, and they've got a 1 year birthday party at Dead Crafty in Liverpool. If you're listening to this before that, get down and help them celebrate.
Marvellous.
Celebrate good times.
With good people and
Come
good
on.
beers.
Celebrate.
So, talking of food and drink as well, for the next podcast, you might want to look forward to Billy McCartney's Crisp Corner.
We say this every time.
Yeah.
So if anybody makes their own crisps and they want to send them in to Billy McCartney,
Well, we've been there before.
When you talk about making their own crisps, when I was younger, I thought using a packet of plain crisps, I would try and make my own salt and vinegar, putting salt and vinegar into a packet of plain crisps. Didn't work out.
I guess it was quite soggy.
It was very soggy, very soggy. Yeah.
Soggy bottom.
Okay. Thank you very much, KB.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Cheers.
We will quaff the remainder of that whilst we undertake and prepare to answer
Podcast questions.
My favourite thing.
So, questions new and old. First off, Joanne Forster says,
Forza.
which of your fantastic songs was the first to be written/sang?
Ah, there we go. Well,
Christmas in Lancashire.
We know the answer to that.
Christmas
one,
in Lancashire.
Christmas in Lancs in my downstairs front room flat in Coventry.
Near the Canal Basin.
That's right. Yeah. Which humorously, and it still goes on to this day, the Canal Basin, the bridge that goes across the ring road, people keep going on and using black paint to paint out the sea. They do, and the council have to go back and keep painting a sea on it, and people go back and paint it. Brilliant.
Tights.
Just class. Some people, they like graffiti that's on the side of trains and tagging. Just paint over a letter C. That's great. It's really great.
And Bob, do you want to tell the podcast listeners the little thing that you've been telling everybody who's coming to the show?
That's the little tale I've been saying as I've been on tour is that the day before we recorded the very first Hotpot song, we played me, Bernard and Dickie. We were doing techno music.
It's a Comic-Con sort of thing.
Yeah, it was a comics convention in a place called the Custard Factory in Birmingham. We played in a room to literally zero of people. Nobody at all. And the man who was in charge of the comics convention next door actually came in partway through our set asked us to turn it down.
It was like something out of Dance Army, wasn't it?
It was terrible.
It's like,
and completely demoralised.
It wasn't deaf. It was like he was trying to speak over the. And you know, at those types of points in your life, you kind of question exactly what it is you're doing. What am I doing, mate?
And the day after, we kind of just did this thing. We recorded this thing that we'd kind of written the day. I think we did it that day, didn't we? We wrote the lyrics collectively. We just wrote a verse each. The music was just, you know, it was secondary, wasn't it? We weren't really bothered about the actual music kind of chords.
We hadn't even thought that it was a thing.
We were just doing it to cheer ourselves up, really, weren't we? And
nothing's changed. We actually don't care about the music.
You've only had one swing of that.
I'll tell you something.
We are 10 years later.
10 years later, and as I always say, the point is do not ever give up on your dreams.
Oh, lovely stuff.
If you turn away and you finish, you never know what's around that next little corner. There might be success there.
Don't turn around if you want to see my breaking.
On a similar theme, Nikki Copson says, how did you all know each other, and whose idea was it to form the fantastic and utterly amazing and funny act that you guys are?
Well, it's a little bit of a tangled web, isn't it? It's this current sort of six-piece that we're in. I think the first relationship that kind of existed was me and you, Bernard.
Indeed.
I joined your band.
Yeah.
Your dad was the drummer
at the time.
Of your band, a band called Corova.
Cracking outfit.
It was you, your brother, and your dad. And then you enlisted a bass player, and then your dad was if this is going to go anywhere, we need a proper lineup, and I was the drummer.
Yeah.
And then we kicked about for a little bit,
and we won things.
We did the Battle of the Bands in Liverpool, which we won. Around this time, we kind of met Mr. Ron Seal.
Yeah, because we did a couple of gigs at the City, I remember.
We did together. You were in a band called the Crash Band.
Was at the time, yeah.
At the time, you were the lead singer.
I was.
And lead guitarist.
I was.
I probably knew you before I knew Dickie, actually.
Wow. Possibly, yeah. I knew of you two, I think, before I knew of anyone else in this room.
We did that. And then we got interested in dance music, me and you.
Yeah, we won some, like, after winning that Battle of the Bands, we won some electronic equipment. So we integrated electronic sounds into our rock band.
At the same time, I was recording bands in a sort of local tiny tin pot studio. We actually met Kenny.
It's like
a little bit before, didn't we?
It's like rock. It's like rock family trees, isn't it?
So you were in about 18 bands, as I remember.
Yeah, I was a bit of a band word I probably shouldn't say on a family-friendly podcast, but yeah, I used to get around.
Band hussy.
Yeah, I used to get around a little bit. Like I was always in 2 or 3 bands at a time, really. So yeah.
Tough Rock Dragons.
I know. I was in Tough Rock Dragons. I was in Giant Root Attack.
Giant Root Attack.
Were you in Giant Root Attack?
For a while, yeah. A year or so, yeah. 100 Story High. The Ups. But yeah, you mixed some of our Giant Root Attack recordings. Yeah. You did the recording of the EP for the Ups.
The Ups. You were in the Ups. Yeah.
Yeah. Did that was really good. I enjoyed that. For the short time that it was a thing. Yeah. So I used to bump into in the Raven and the Java Bar. But yeah, we also worked together on musical projects.
A couple of things.
Yeah, but meanwhile I was enrolling in a musical course at the college where I
was a teacher.
Bob
I still am a teacher.
Bob was not only my bestest of friends, but he was my teacher. And of course, on that course was Dickie.
Hello.
So then we start to integrate.
So you were a teacher. You taught them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe you've done so well.
In spite. But I couldn't teach these guys anything really. And at the time, we were doing Corova, we were doing rock
bad?
songs, and I think we wanted Dickie to do a remix of a couple of our tracks. Gave him some stuff, and I think you wanted to be the keyboard player / technology guy in Corova for a little bit.
Yeah, pretty much so, yeah.
But then we kind of just we disbanded Corova, and we just went and did full on kind of let's do electronic music, the 3-piece, me, Bernard and Dickie, and we did that for a few years.
Very good it was too.
That college has got a lot to answer for.
A
lot to answer.
There's only one member of this particular premiere in room that we haven't talked about. Mr. Bill O'McCartney.
When I left school, I went to Knowsley Community College. Met a guy called Dave Lyons. We formed a band called the A Major Sevens. We got a letter saying our act was degrading to women, which is true. And we met another.
You got a letter, it's true.
It was a bit of both, but it was in Dave's name, so I was blameless, even though I sang the worst stuff. I met another Dave called Dave McCabe, and I was in a band with Dave McCabe.
Sorry, I've just picked up that name you've dropped. Sorry. Put it in your pocket there.
Yeah. And when I
cover of
when I used and when I used to have chips and gravy with Led Zeppelin. But I was in a band with Dave for a bit, and then me and Dave Lyons formed a band called Lions and Tigers. We were doing a few gigs, and I remember we got asked to support a band called the Lancashire Hotpots at a place called the Barfly. And strangely for us, it wasn't the normal Lions and Tigers lineup. Jimmy Page couldn't make it. It was me, Dave, and a guy playing bongos who looked suspiciously like the bongo player from the Trio adverts years ago. And we did it acoustically. And later on, I remember getting a text saying, "Do you want to join the Hotpots?"
From my then girlfriend, my now
From
wife.
your girlfriend, yeah. And obviously, usually I delete spam, but if I'm not eating it. So and then obviously we got together, we had a rehearsal. I remember the first day Bob picked me up. He got to mine on time.
That was the last time.
But Bob got to mine. I said, "Can we just go to Asda so I can get a white shirt, please?" Because we had a photo shoot, which was strange. A photo shoot and then a rehearsal. And and it was, the rest is history, isn't it?
Yeah.
After that, after the rehearsal, I just remember hearing the immortal words, "See you in Crosby." And I was like, "What do you mean, see you in Crosby? What are we doing in Crosby? Just a gig." So
So
here we are.
A long answer.
A long answer.
Short question.
Well, I think it was thorough.
Yeah,
I think it was very
we've
thorough.
answered that.
So I think what we are to take from that is that a lot of musicians know a lot of other musicians, and paths cross, and relationships are formed, and contacts are made, and everything's always in a state of flux to a certain degree. Yeah. Now we answer. This is a question from Mike Webb. We answered a question similar to this not so long ago, but it doesn't matter. We'll do it again. Mike says, "How, after 10 years, do you seem to be having such a riot when you play live? I've been to see bands who, after 2 or 3 years into their career, they just look jaded. How do we look as though we're having such a good time?"
Can I take this one at the minute? Because I've only just played with you just over a year now, and it's actually, when you go see bands, sometimes you think, "Oh yeah, they're having a great time," but they're just putting it on every night. And I can actually testify that this band actually do have that much fun on stage, because it's really infectious, I think. I just don't think you can help but have fun, because the songs are great.
Lots of the good stuff, like gigs and having fun, and less of the less interesting bits, like rehearsing and just wing it, really.
We unlike some of the bands we might have been in years ago, we don't live in each other's pockets. Most of obviously we do stuff now and again outside the band, but mainly when we see each other, it's to play together. So it's like a treat for the weekend. We have fun, and we never know what either of us is going to say on stage any given night. So the show is never the same twice. That's the thing, you know.
I think we've still, each of us got one foot in the real world, and we've still got like a real kind of life, really.
That foot's in a bird trap.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, but Dickie said that tonight, didn't he? When he said, we've all got just just normal jobs, and it's like to get together on a Saturday evening and play to people
sold out room.
Yeah, who just go mental and have a great time. How can you not have fun on stage?
And we get to do that in other cities.
Yeah.
Because your Hotpots going to London to a sold out gig, people who've paid to see us, and the energy you get off the crowd when you see people wearing the flat caps and the Hotpots t-shirts, you can't not be moved by it,
Like tonight in Newcastle is our biggest Newcastle show.
Yeah.
We've been kind of punting up here for a few years now, and it's steadily grown and grown. And tonight there's 200 plus people in the O2 in Newcastle.
Going crazy.
Yeah, it was bouncing.
It was unbelievable, wasn't it?
People of all ages bouncing away.
I never realised Honky Tonk 2 was so special.
And we even got recognised on the drive out of town.
Yeah.
With
the
like,
windows
you?
down.
Yeah,
he
it
did.
was good, like a mile away from the venue, still in the town centre, but we were stopped at the traffic lights and like, there they are!
Our Hotpots.
Malcolm Hall says,
Hollow.
how did you first learn to play your instruments? Self-taught or lessons?
Self-taught.
I'm still learning.
Self-taught, but lessons, but not theory-based. Just put a record. Someone taught me how to just learn from a record. I think that's the best way.
I've never had a lesson in my life.
No, I've not learned. I couldn't play bass, but I can play drums and I can play guitar and keyboards. But I've never had any lessons for any of those things. Just
Pick it up.
Just pick it up and play every day.
But as far as keyboards went, my nan years ago bought me a little keyboard, and I just used to play along to records in the house. I've never had a lesson, and and I seem to be doing all right.
I was a mixture really of kind of trying to teach myself and then having a few lessons here and there. I had a few lessons from a very good session musician called Roy Martin, who's played with lots of famous people and does lessons. Well, I don't know if he still does, but last time I heard he does lessons at ADC in Liverpool. So if you want lessons, hit him up.
I think the other thing as well is you just don't stop learning. You just don't stop learning your instrument. And I think that there's like fantastic musicians in this band, and I think you learn from them, and you can't help but not stop learning.
Do you know, lately especially, having Ron's guitar on stage has added a totally different dynamic. Yeah. Not just to the
having it on, not being because it looks so nice. It's
but having the sound of Ron's guitar, it doesn't just affect the sound. I think it's had a positive effect on how we play, because it's like it's got some sort of it's got some power to it, the guitar, so it makes us play a certain way, and it genuinely feels like we're a tighter band because of it, especially the way we're playing at the moment. I think we're all playing really well together.
Tighter.
And the other thing is sometimes just to keep it interesting, you just try things when you play. You just think, you know what, I'm going to try this here. And a lot of the time when I do that, it goes wrong. So thankfully I did that in sound check and not the actual gig tonight, because I did something and it really didn't work.
Yeah. Well, you trying. Yeah. Michael Schumacher, in his practice at the F1, he always used to kind of just spin out on certain corners.
Yeah, he's finding your limits.
Pushing the limits.
Seeing how much
you've got to push your limits. You have to.
It's like an emo at the minute when we were all kind of, when we rehearsed our little reggae bit, but now it's just we just sing to it.
Drifting and out.
That's it. Done.
Stuff just evolves, doesn't it, organically? If we looked at the way we'd played the songs years ago, one of us will add a new bit, and then somebody else will react to the way they do that bit, but that bit then becomes part of the song permanently.
But then going back to the other question about, do we genuinely enjoy it on stage? It was like last week at the London gig. Kenny didn't want to end a song.
I just didn't know what I was doing.
But
I didn't know where it was.
But it felt great to everybody, and it was just it was just a natural thing again. We just kept our interest for the gig, and I think you've got to do it for yourself as well as the audience. And I think we strike the right balance.
So in answer to the question, self-taught. Self-taught.
That was the extended version. David Purvis.
Pervo?
Sorry about that, Dave. Said, what made you decide to wear flat caps and rainbow waistcoats, and why, Bernard, the slippers? Well, flat caps is obviously part, the Lancashire folk idiom. Waistcoats was Bob's idea. Well done, Bob.
Yeah, just like at the point where Billy and Kenny kind of joined the band, we needed a little bit of a reinvention, and I kind of said, well, why don't we have a common kind of theme with waistcoats? And
yeah, because before it was all everyone had their own.
Everyone had their own thing.
I think I just got my original leather waistcoat from a charity shop somewhere. I think.
But the rainbow waistcoats was a
Unified
thing.
The brand, it's recognised. We have people turning up.
Yeah.
Fans in those sort of rainbow waistcoats.
It's
brilliant. It's lovely to see.
So, and for the listeners at home, why do you wear moccasins on stage, Bernard?
Comfort, When I'm at home, as soon as I get in from work, I put my slippers on. No different when I'm with the Hotpots. When I'm at work, you've done the hard bit, you've loaded in, you're in the venue, you're in a comfortable space, put your slippers on.
Because getting together with the Hotpots is metaphorically like putting on.
Exactly. Just getting on, getting comfortable, get into something, just relax.
Rob Garner says, we listen to you. Who do you listen to? Well, obviously we could be here all day. How about
the wife?
Who are you listening to at the moment? That might be.
I've listened to this last couple of weeks. I've listened to a lot of George Michael. Just because of the documentary that was on recently. I was tremendously intrigued. And Listen Without Prejudice has kind of come on to all the streaming services, and there's there's that and the MTV Unplugged. Pray for Time?
Yeah. That song. Pray for Time.
Pray for Time. What a song. What an absolute song that is. What a brilliant songwriter he was.
What's the new song with Nile Rodgers? What's that one called?
Fantasy.
Yeah. There's one he did with McCartney as well that was
Billy McCartney.
Not Billy McCartney, McCartney's distant cousin Paul McCartney.
It's called
Chris with the
Pain or something.
Yeah, but on Listen Without Prejudice it was just purely George Michael. But there is on the deluxe version there's a version with Paul sort of singing in between. And it's absolutely wonderful music. Well done, George.
I'm listening to a group called Arcane Roots and an American hip-hop chap called Danny Brown.
Oh, Danny Brown.
Yeah. So there are my two...
It's funny how it happened.
It is funny how it happened, yeah.
Kenny?
As you know, I'm quite an 80s fan, like Blondie and Simple Minds and all that lark. But at the moment, I am mostly listening to the FIFA 17 soundtrack.
Wow.
Yeah, very good it is too.
Yeah, it's good. I'm not... FIFA 18 soundtrack isn't quite cutting the mustard as much, so yeah, firmly on the FIFA 17 soundtrack at the moment. Some interesting songs from people like Beck and Kasabians and
Oliver.
Yeah, Oliver.
And Oliver.
Electrify. Yeah, check it out. It's on Apple Music and other
very good.
musical vendors.
I've gone back to Bob Dylan at the minute because because I've just got the soundtrack to the musical Girl from the North Country with his songs in it, and they're beautiful they are too, but it's made me want to revisit Mr. Dylan again, and again just blows me away every time I hear the man. That's it.
Did you do one of our songs in a Bob Dylan style one?
Yeah, I imagine I did, yeah.
That was really fun. I can't remember which one it is.
Which one was it? Was it Emo or something?
It probably was Emo.
Was Emo.
Yeah.
We like to have a bit of fun with Emo every now and again. Billo.
Bit of a mishmash this week for me. I've been listening to, after something Ron Seal played the other week, I've been listening to Billy Joel and playing a bit of piano in the house, and I've been also revisiting my favourite electronic act, or one of them, Kraftwerk, and I've been listening to their big album for me, The Man Machine, which for me is the electronic Sgt. Pepper. For me, I love it. I think it's a fantastic record.
You should put that on the cover. The electronic Sergeant Pepper.
Billy McCartney.
Bill McCartney. What time are we getting food?
And Dickie, you're in your ears?
In my ears, listen to the new Beck album this week, Colours, I think it's called. It's really nice, nicely produced pop, upbeat pop record. But what's tickling my fancy most at the moment is the 2 singles from Noel Gallagher.
Well done, Noel.
2 absolutely storming curveballs.
Well done for walking away.
Just completely out of nowhere, David Holmes has just taken Noel to another songwriting dimension, and I'm just intensely looking forward to his new album.
And didn't you say the Imagine Dragons, the new one?
Yes, I've been spinning their latest album.
Rich, isn't it?
It's all textured.
And you played with the new Killers album, which I
Yes, we
enjoyed.
on,
All the way on from Sheffield.
Way up from Sheffield. The new Killers album is terrific.
Quite enjoying the new Gary Newman album as well.
Yes,
It's quite interesting.
that's very, very good.
Nice.
And lastly, for this particular podcast, because we have been going on a bit, our good friend Matt Webster says, if you were going to attempt a world record, what would it be?
Well, no.
I'm actually in the Guinness Book of Records.
No.
Yeah?
No.
I'll show you a picture. I was looking at it in Asda's the other day. From Kendall Calling, the year we didn't play.
Do you mean
Oh, the Superman.
The Superman, yeah.
yeah.
Most people dressed as Superman in one place.
I saw a little YouTube clip that just minutes before we started doing this podcast of a chap who balanced the most traffic cones on his chin. If I could beat that, I'd be really happy.
How many was it?
I don't know. It's like loads. Like 100 traffic cones on your chin. I know it'd take work, and we'd like the Hotpots would probably have to, take a back seat or something while I develop my chin strength. But that's a thing, isn't it? What do you do? They call me cone chin.
Largest gathering of people dressed as Superman. 867 on 27th of July 2013 at Kendall Calling.
There you go.
I do have another talent though. I can make a Trump noise with 9 different places on my body. If anybody can beat that,
That's fake.
It
is 9, isn't it?
Just for those people at home, this is a Trump with my eye. There you go. The lads will verify that was my hand.
That was his hand on
And
his
my
eye.
eye there.
Don't give too many away. This is audio. This needs to be.
Just one from the hand then, just to finish.
Anyone else got any potential world records they like to tackle?
Well, I recently broke a record. I actually stood on my friend's copy of The Song Remains the Same. But I think I'd love to eat as many minted lamb burgers as I could in one particular. I did have 6 out of a box from Iceland once. 6. And I only had 6 because there were only 6 in the box. But I had them in a wanna, 6. But obviously I would say be very careful when cooking things like burgers in the early hours, because once before I had a full box of, there's a pattern imagine here, the full lot here of burgers. Remember the cheeseburgers where the cheese was inside the burger?
Yeah.
Well, I put 6 of those on the grill when I lived in my mum's place and fell asleep. And I woke up and they were like charcoal. But luckily, no, I didn't eat. I had 5 of them. But yeah, I love my burgers, and I did actually. I had a lovely half. What was it today?
Oh, half pound.
No.
Half pound burger.
Was it? No, wasn't
Madonna
it?
meat on it.
Yeah, wasn't it a full pounder?
Oh, full pound, isn't it?
Yeah. Madonna meat on. So.
I mean, I'm coming late to the party, but I don't know if you've discussed this before. But if the band were asked to play Kendall again, I would like to be a part of the largest conga ever.
Oh no, there's a big record for that.
So what is the record for that?
There's big numbers. Big numbers.
Are we talking tens of thousands?
We're talking about at least about 10,000. I'm sure it is.
Wow.
So that'd be like the whole of Kendall Calling.
But I think doable. But it's doable if we got the whole of Kendall Calling.
Yeah.
So I think that maybe if we're asked, I think that should be the campaign that we do.
Yeah, quite right.
The largest conga.
Yeah.
And we need Norris McWhirter
on stage.
Yes.
For no reason whatsoever, Mr. Motivator stood next to him.
And is it Chris Akabusi as well?
Riggsy, do you want to be in the world record?
No, I'm rubbish. I will not ever break any world records ever. So there you go.
Yeah, in fact, no, he has brought the record for being the coolest guy that I know.
I think one that's never been done. No, obviously, if you want to attempt the world record, you must have to apply to the World Record Authority. I don't know whether it's Guinness anymore. It would be great to be the person who applies to break the most records and turns up for none of them.
So that would be
that would be a
itself.
record of letting the records people down that many times.
world's biggest failure.
I don't know whether I've already got that.
No, I might regret this, but
Go on.
I'm just looking at the list of questions, and there's one crossed out there from what looks like someone called Chris Brown. It might be Chris Bron, I don't know. Who is a chap that I work with.
All right.
Do we know what the question was? It looks something along the lines of...
I think it was something along the lines of, when is Kenny getting drumming lessons?
Have you ever got It's probably not worth wasting the money, really, is it? There's better things we could spend our money on.
There's very, very little return on that sort of investment.
Cheers, Chris!
My mum does lovely drumsticks.
She's cooking chicken.
My mum does lovely drumsticks.
At midnight.
So what else we got? Does that bring us to the end of the podcast?
That's pretty much it. This is probably the longest podcast
And
there's
you know what?
ever been.
We could have talked longer. I think.
Yeah.
We could have talked
But
all night.
We've got some bullseye to watch.
And some drinking to do.
Yeah.
So this podcast has been brought to you by wine, beer, and whiskey.
They're an Earth, Wind and Fire.
So thank you very much for listening.
Is that the music creeping in?
I believe it is.
Turn it up.
Cheers. Bye.
The Lancashire Hotpots Podcast.